So I'm Dr. Darren Weissman, and I'm a doctor of holistic medicine, been practicing for the past 18 years. And I started floating in 1986. So one of the things is I'm an avid water skier and tennis player. Two of my favorite things to do. I love doing exercises that I have fun doing. And when I'm in the flotation tank, one of the things that I do is I visualize myself in the activity. And I see myself actually on this slalom ski, sitting back, and the boat is pulling me, and I'm feeling it. I'm actually in the moment. And when I'm doing things that before I've been unable to do in my mind in the flotation tank, when I go back out in the real world and I go to do them, I'm able to do them. I'm able to, with tennis, I'm able to hit the ball in ways, I'm able to see the hairs on the ball coming at me because I visualized it so clearly, because there's nothing, no visual, no auditory, no feeling. There's no sensory inhibition or resistance. And so every great musician, every great athlete, they visualize the process. It's shown in science that, if you practice doing free throws, or you visualize yourself doing free throws, or you don't visualize yourself and you don't practice, that the people that actually visualize comparatively to the people that actually do the actual free throws do just as well. So it shows you the power of your mind to influence your mind-body connection, the mind-memory connection. There is a neural network that carves a informational synapse that enables that information to begin to create a connection that would otherwise not exist. And the flotation tank is incredible in that way. I've used it for learning. I've used it to enhance my learning capacity of being a photographic memory now. And I used to feel very insecure with much low self-esteem as a child in school. And I am now able to, if I'm having a challenge with a concept or something that's going on, I go into the flotation tank and I visualize it, I listen to it, I feel it, I just think about the material, and I know it on a whole other level. It's remarkable because people, the way we learn, shifting from the sports component, the way that we learn is we are visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. We see, feel, hear. But the challenge is people have a primary way of learning. And based upon a lot of things, programs and traumas and different things that are in our mind and in our body, it affects learning. So kids with learning disabilities and people with learning disabilities and dyslexia, when you begin to go in with the intention of learning, when you take away the stress that is based upon the sensory deprivation process, your mind opens up to a learning process that you'd otherwise not be able to connect to. Now, what's so interesting, is that learning, healing, and growing as a human being are all intertwined with the same brain centers. So we have this limbic part of our brain where our emotions are stored, the memories of our emotions, our instinctual, reactive type of persona. And that limbic part of our brain takes in sensory information, things that we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, feel. And as a result of this information, it sends signals to what's called our reptilian brain. And our reptilian brain then runs our body. And it is a totally protective mode. It's that fright, fight, or flight mode, okay? Or it's the relaxation mode. Well, we live in a sensory overload environment, and people are constantly on protective mode. You cannot protect and learn. You cannot protect and heal. You cannot protect and grow at the same time. It goes one way or the other. And so it's so neat with the flotation tank, because when you begin to activate this limbic emotional part of you simply by floating and focusing on something, someone, in some way, It sends a signal to the reptilian brain that affects your body that then starts to create a long-term memory that was never processed at one point. And it sends it up to our higher brain centers, which is called our cortex, our neocortex. That is what makes human beings special. We've got these really big neocortex. Well, they're not special if they're not being used. And many people's neocortexes are not being used. We live in a fearful environment. When we are fully conscious, fear shifts into love, acceptance, forgiveness, compassion, gratitude. And that is a process of flotation that influences athletics, that influences learning, that influences healing. It's good stuff.